Tonight, Scott has another question for all of us.
Another question for us. Yesterday we were talking about the hottest areas, hottest cities in the country.
But that was on average,
on
right,
average.
Scott? And so tonight you're doing it a little bit differently with the coldest places.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk averages because I thought it was a little more interesting when you see these locations of cold, on the cold side of things. When you look at the nation and say, okay, what's the coldest place in the country today? Well, from 1995 to 2005, all those days were measured, and the cities are ranked here. How many times were they the coldest place in the country? So you guys have to pick at least the top city. You guys have any idea what would be here in the country?
I know. Okay, I know.
Okay.
I think.
All right, go ahead.
I think it's Stanley.
Stanley, Idaho. Roland?
I think Barrow, Alaska.
Oh, it has to be in the continental U.S. Sorry.
Continental. And International Falls is my favorite city because when I was in Wisconsin, it was always colder than where I was.
No, that made you happy.
It made me happy.
Yeah. All right, so you're saying International Falls. Michelle's saying Stanley over here. I keep forgetting to grab the right button here. Let's push this right button here. See where we're heading into here. Well, looks like we're heading out west. Oh, Michelle!
Whoa, Stanley,
Idaho. 300. She's
Sorry.
such a humble winner, isn't she?
Well, this morning, I mean, perfect example, right, Scott? What were they, 19,
it was 19
as a
this
low?
morning, 16 yesterday. I don't know if it was
crazy.
I don't know if it was the coldest in the country, but I bet it was really close because it was so dry. But 398 times over that 10-year time frame. Number 2, West Yellowstone at 337. Number 3, Gunnison, Colorado. Number 4, Truckee, California. Number 5, Alamosa, Colorado as well. So it was right here. You hear a lot about it in Stanley. I had always heard that International Falls, Roland, at times was the coldest place in the country, and people would say, but on average it likely is. And maybe next week I'll take a look at the averages because the cities a lot of them are different as far as the overall average coldest place in the U.S. They've got a whole separate category for places in Alaska because I'll tell you, there's a lot of them, and yeah, it gets cold up there. If you've got questions or photos, so you got a question you want me to ask on the air and research it for you, you can reach me at weather@fox9now.com.
Okay, I have a question. So can you put this into the rotation maybe for next week?
Okay.
It's so dry. It's so dry. So can we talk about that at some point and why that gives, you know, my kids nosebleeds and, you know, it just wreaks havoc.
There's going to be a run on humidifiers.
That's true.
Yeah, I will tell you this, the peak of the dryness is sliding to our east. It was right over us today. Tomorrow will be just not quite as dry, but it's still going to be dry.
Okay. Thanks,
We'll
Scott.
do that, though.
Thanks for letting me win. Coming up next.